Hey everyone, and welcome to another Resin Q&A live from Custom Carving and Epoxy UK. And this week I am so excited.
Hey everyone,
We have
and welcome
got
to another
Loula from Nerd Goblin Art. So, hello Loula, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
I lost my screen again.
Yeah, we had a test earlier and Loula completely cut me off. So there we go.
It's what I do.
But before we start, just to say, I think this is the 7th Q&A live now, which is amazing. So thank you everybody for turning up. I think it's brilliant getting to know the whole resin community out there. And I'm looking for more guests. So if anybody's interested, let me know. I'm not that scary. The questions we ask, it's just a normal chat. And if we manage to get 50 in here tonight, there will be a surprise. So I'm not going to say more than that, but hopefully it's something to look forward to. So share it on wherever you want to, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Let's get a few more in and let's find out more about Loula and
We've totally frozen.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Sorry, I blinked
good.
out there. Okay.
I had a little buffering wheel there. I don't know what that was. It's the first time I've had it, but there we go.
You had a what?
A little buffering wheel just in the center. And I was like, oh dear, don't start that.
Yeah, I was buffering. It's back now, I think. Yeah.
Oh, we've got somebody from South Africa as well tonight. Welcome.
Hello.
Dancing in the Rain. I love the name. I used to do that as a kid. I'd just whip my top off when it was raining and run around in the rain. But I think that was because I was hyperactive. But there we go.
Hyperactive children.
Yeah, right. My parents had a job when I was a kid. I was hyperactive, I was epileptic, and I was asthmatic. And when I say hyperactive, I was hyperactive. I actually feel really sorry for them. But there we go. I've grown up now. But tell me about Nerd Goblin Art. How did it all start? Not just YouTube, because I believe when we spoke earlier, it started a long time before that. So talk to us about Nerd Goblin Art.
Yeah, it all started as most other people's adventures during lockdown. It was just a case that I was, my mental health was practically on the floor. I was having panic attacks daily, and I sought help with Mind UK. And they asked me if I enjoyed doing anything. And I was, at the time, I was doing, the rock thing everyone was doing in the UK.
Painting the rocks and leaving them.
And hiding them, yeah. And I kept saying to my husband, Martin, that I should do it for reals, like on proper canvases.
Yeah.
And he called my bluff. It was lockdown, it was my birthday, and he had ordered in canvases and actual real paint. I'd been watching an art teacher on YouTube, the Art Sherpa, for years, and I just started doing all her tutorials, and so just started painting and didn't really stop and haven't stopped since. And I started painting back last year. I started painting on wood slices. Because I just liked how different it was, and I liked on wood. And then I wanted to seal in my paintings with resin. I thought it looked really nice, and it took me a while because I was worried and anxious about using resin, and that's all I was going to do it for. That's all I was going to start resin for, was just sealing in paintings.
Yeah.
And then I started getting molds. And now I got more molds than anything in the house. and that's just how it started. I'd already been selling art, doing all that stuff, designing, funny, quirky, like key rings and stuff, and doing markets. But then May last year is when I started properly playing with resin. And
what was your first piece?
I did my first thing was a coaster.
Any particular style of coaster, or was it just throw the resin in for the first one?
No. I discovered Michelle from Glitz and Glitter.
Okay.
And she was doing like crackle effects and stuff, and I just done those, and I enjoyed it.
Did they turn out, the first ones?
Yes.
Okay, that's
did.
good.
It was the first bloom. I've only ever done what I just done quite a good bloom, but this was when I first started. It was just beginner's luck. I done it brilliant. It was amazing, and I hadn't had another good one since the one I put on video last week. And then I then being the sort of person I am, I saw Wendy on Toonfish do the skull with the like snow globe skull.
Yeah.
And being an absolute newbie to resin, I decided that was what I had to do.
Okay.
I went all in, and I did my first ever skull, and I was like,
that's cool.
The first thing I ever did, third thing I ever did with resin. So, yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's quite a big mold as well, so you're quite brave doing that as one of your first things.
Yeah, I've always been the sort to jump straight in there. You know, when I first started painting, I started on like 7x5s, and after a couple of months, I was painting. I've got one painting here that's, I think, it's about 4.5 foot wide.
Okay.
Something like that, you know, it's big wall piece. So I like to do the bigger things.
So tell me about because you've got a physical shop as well, haven't you? I saw a short the other day. So tell me about that, because obviously I'm still looking to try and find a way to sell my art as well, which I'm really struggling with online. I've tried the Etsy, I've tried the eBays, I've just set up my own online store and things like that. But I'm actually thinking about trying the physical side, because people actually get to touch it and feel it, and I think that makes a big difference.
Well, one of the ladies from the shop has just come in. Is Lucy. I love Lucy too. She's the Welsh Stitch Witch. Her name is Loula. Luro Makes. That's the Welsh Stitch Witch. She's in the shop as well. This couple approached me 2 years ago. I was doing a Christmas market in Newport Town Centre, and they loved my paintings, and they did buy quite a few pieces. And they said to me that they just bought Newport Arcade. And I was a bit like, yeah, all right, bit suspect. And they asked if they could have my details, because I was perfect for what they had envisioned for the arcade. And months later, they contacted me again. We're running markets through there. Would you like to do it? So yeah, sure. And then a little while after that, they were opening a collective, an arts collective. But at the time, Martin's dad, who I was really close to, got really ill, and we were nursing him until we lost him. But at the time, I couldn't take part. But then they decided the first shop did so well, they wanted to open another one next door. So the Craft Emporium was born. There was a group of us that they had sought out personally, which was cool. That was really, really, email and, would you like to be a part of this? And I was like, yes. So the idea is they wanted a group of artists to just pay for their space, and that's either like floor to ceiling or a shelf. Or a table and a shelf above. And to keep the costs down, we just all had to agree to work a month to 1 to 2 days a month in the shop to keep the running of it. So basically, we all manage it together and stuff like that. Some sellers aren't confident or can't do it simply because they work full time. So they pay extra for their space so they don't have to come in, and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Laura, just to interrupt for 1 second. Laura, what you missed isn't me in a birthday suit. That's what people are asking for. But I did say if we get 50 in here tonight, there will be a surprise. So it's not a birthday suit, though. So don't get too excited. This isn't OnlyFans. This is Resin Q&A.
I was expecting a whole routine with you dancing, Was it hot chocolate?
Yeah, not quite. No.
Yeah, so we opened in June last year, and it's been going well since then. There's around 20 of us now in the shop. We are looking for 2 new people, and they can apply.
I would love to, but it's a bit of a commute to commit
Yeah,
to those 2 days.
for you. Very commute for you. But if anyone is in or around Newport and they're creatives, drop me an email and I can pass you on to our manager, basically, the lady that owns the arcade that's running it all. So
yeah,
and it's
given us a great idea, and I was saying that to you earlier on, actually, because there's it's a similar sort of thing that's just opened up not far from me, where it's loads of different artists have a space in there. And I think it's great because you get to walk in. A, you get lots of ideas, which is great. But B, you actually get to physically hold the stuff, which I think with resin makes a huge difference, because sometimes the photos just don't show you how nice the pieces are. No matter how good you do it, you can't always get the sparkle from iridescent powders and things like that. But in real life, you're like, wow.
Yeah, we get people coming in all the time, and they're just, they want particular sorts of artists in the shop. They are picky, and the majority, we are all weirdos. We really are. We got people creating furry creatures, the brain of Chant, and her stuff is amazing. I don't know how she does it. And we've got a Welsh Stitch, and I mean, she does the most micro-sized earrings out of crochet you'll ever see, and they're amazing. And we've got people doing like really creepy dolls. It's basically a shop filled with people who love Halloween and love the creepy stuff and the unusual as well. So, and we've got a goth who does amazing, like really gothic type artwork, pieces.
Yeah.
And she used to do resin, but she's got quite allergic to it, so she does other things now.
Oh dear.
But the space allows us as well to do classes if we so wish. We can book out and have people come in. I could teach them art if I want. We've had them doing. I think there's one of the makers is doing a scrapbooking class. Lucy's planning on doing a crochet, teaching people to crochet in there, and it also gives the we can do exhibitions as well at no cost to us.
Okay, that's good.
So it's a really good initiative. And Newport is good for art though, because we do like art on the hill during November. Businesses and people put other people's artworks in their windows on display, and then people got to follow it on a map, all around Newport and follow and, find the paintings and stuff.
Bit
and
like
then
a treasure hunt style thing.
Yeah, it's cool, and there's a nice bit. And it's not just, when I say art, it's not just like paintings, it could be also, it's even artists as in actors and singers as well, so they put all shows on throughout the city.
Yeah. Has anybody got some gaffer tape and a banana yet and just stuck it on the window? That famous artwork that went for like $2 million or something. Basically, some gaffer tape and a banana. I was like, what?
Yeah, well, there is some weird stuff people have stuck up in Newport, like weird looking stickers, and you're like, what's that about? But it gets you talking. We've got Newport Rising, and is another organisation, and they're like raising things like Newport's Marmite. And I'll completely admit to that, it is a bit of a Marmite city, but they are they've made T-shirts and branding it, because the Newport's famous for the riots with John Frost and stuff like that back
Right.
when men wanted fair votes. This was before women having fair votes. So they, capitalized on all that history, and have T-shirts and with the emblems on and like Marmite sign, but with Newport.
Yeah.
So we're in our shop as well, and people absolutely love that kind of thing.
So tell me about YouTube then, because you've been doing YouTube for I think about 5 months. Looking back on your channel, correct me if I'm wrong. You're already up to, is it 1.27 thousand? Well, so 1,270 subscribers,
Something like that. Yeah. It's
What
built
started that
quickly.
off?
I've been moderating for the Art Sherpa for about 4 years and a fan of the channel for 10 years.
Okay.
She's an old school YouTuber, but we sadly lost her in December. She passed away very sadly.
Oh dear.
And she had a good relationship with us, even though I never met her in person. We were always in Skype meetings and chatting with each other. And she was doing so much art, and she was doing it for free. She had Patreon, obviously, and stuff like that. But her idea, she wanted to teach the world to paint.
Okay.
Her whole ideal was that anybody can. You just forgot.
Yeah.
Everyone's creative. You just forget, as it's like knocked out of you as a child.
Or you've never tried it.
Yeah, well, we're the
I get
ones that
so many
all.
people that are like, "How have you done that?" And I said, "Just try it. Try it.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed at what you can do."
I've said quite a few times, I think, in some of my earlier videos, we're the ones that used to make potions in the gardens. We're
Yeah.
the ones that used to do all the mixing of mud and
Mud
flowers and
cakes, make your
everything,
own
and throwing
perfume out of
everything in.
petals.
Yeah, that was us lot. And we never really lost it, but some people do. But that was her ideal, was to teach the world to paint. And she did, and she
Yeah.
still is and will. So I wanted to start my own as well. And I want to get more painting in there as well.
Yeah.
But it's a confidence thing. People will say, "Well, you can paint." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's different to resin art." It's a bit more of, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's a bit more personal.
Yeah. I
When you're
suppose
doing like.
painting though, again, it's everybody's got their own styles, and somebody can just get a tin of paint, throw it at a canvas. That's painting as well. So you can
Yeah.
do it in whatever style you want.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I don't do that.
Yeah.
And so you're opening yourself up.
Yeah.
I've not met, fingers and toes, touch wood, I've not met with much in the way of trolls yet.
Okay.
And I'm expecting it, and I'm hoping that I can handle it. I should be able to, because I should. But
Well, you've got the community behind you if you can't. And I think that's one of the things I've seen recently with trolls. This community just sort of, you call them to action and they're there on the comments, which is amazing. And I've not had many, so that's great. But just before we go on to that as well, Susie, you've got a question there. You want to make a mold of a crystal dolphin, but it's got a tiny gap between the dolphin and the ball it's sitting on. I would infill the gap with some UV resin before you do the mold. So I think that's probably the easiest way. If it's like a dolphin and a ball sort of thing, just put a bit of UV resin so it's a solid piece in the mold. And then I think that would probably be the easiest way.
oh, thank you, Lucy, and thank you, Steve and Lisa.
Yeah, I think you're getting a lot of fans in there, which is great.
Lucy's gotta love me. I know her personally.
So what would you say, again, there's a few people that are probably watching this that have seen our videos as a community and think, oh, I'd like to do that, but they're a bit panicky or a bit nervous or think, oh God, I can't go on camera. What would you say to those people?
I don't know because I've only just got in the sense of what I've been doing to now or coming on and showing my face.
Yeah, that's it now. It's revealed.
It's revealed the goblin.
Not just the two hands.
Not just the two hands. No. Um, I was saying to I know hi. I was saying to Mad. I talk a lot. Hey Tim, I talk a lot to Martin. Obviously, my much better half. Quite often about what content to put out. He is like my silent member of Nerd Goblin Art because he does a lot of stuff for me in the background. In the way of being my personal cheerleader, um, building me things. I invent things in my head. This would look good because he's got a 3D printer.
Okay.
When he builds me all my bits and pieces that I want, all my tubs, my shelving, and he paints himself. So I really love his ideals because he does Warhammer 40k. He's done that since he was a kid and still does it now. So I can
I'd probably get on with him then. I used to do that as a kid as well back in the day.
Yeah, well, he still does. My brother and him went to a Warhammer World a couple of months ago. They're going again now in the summer.
In Nottingham?
Yeah.
They not far from me, that's about 10-15 minutes around the corner from me in Lenton in Nottingham. But it's quite cool.
To work there. Just to play, because he still does the games as well. I've never been interested in the games. They tried getting me into it since they're best friends, my Martin and my brother Stephen. They've been best friends since they were about 14, and they always tried to get me into the game. And it's too complicated for me. But anyway, he, I'll talk to him often, and I did the same with the rock painting. I should do it. And he's like, yeah, you should. So do it. So he once again he called my bluff. Do it. You just make why don't you just do it? And I'm like, well, what if this? What if this? And he's like, what if? You're not gonna, you're not gonna know until you do. You've got to try it. And will you regret not doing it? So I'm like, yeah, actually, we've learned a lot. We've lost so many people the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And you don't want to live with regret, do you?
No, you only live once, that's what I say.
Exactly. You don't want to live with regret. So just do it. Nobody's gonna, yes, there's trolls. This is the thing that I've tried to ram into my head. There are trolls and there's gonna be unkind people. But I've grown up on the internet. I'm from the world of Yahoo chat rooms. Okay.
I remember Yahoo chat rooms back in the day.
Movies.
I was one of those, what was the annoying little DJ with the soundtracks?
Oh, lovely. They're lovely. We had one of them in our movies chat room. There was always playing music or singing because they thought they could sing.
Steve, Rock City is still a thing in Nottingham. Different nights, different themes. They've still got Love Shack on a Friday night, which is still an interesting night in Nottingham. So, yeah, you'll have to come up. It'll be a laugh.
Oh, we're all going to do a meetup now in Nottingham.
Nottingham. But, don't make me do my Welsh. Jesus. I'll lose all my subscribers then if I start going Welsh.
No, do Welshy. Wait until next week with Karen. She's more Welshy than me.
Is she? Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that. Rin's asking if she's the only person in the US. I don't think so. I think Erica's in the US, and I think Tim's in the US as well in the audience.
Yeah, they are. Yes.
So there's quite a few, but no, I think, do you know what? The greatest thing for me is again, it's things like this. It's just getting to know the real community. And that's why I started these when I did, because nobody's doing it really out there. Nobody's doing these lives where it's getting to know the creator behind the art. And I think you learn a lot about somebody just from meeting them on a camera, finding out what they're interested in, rather than just seeing the two hands and the resin work.
Yeah. It's a case that I I do want to, yeah, jazz hands.
Yeah.
I do my magic tricks as well on my channel too. Um, I I do want to start, being more present, like within the videos.
Yeah.
And I figured that this might be. Yes, you've been away from Wales for 23 years, but you still sound more Welsh than me, Karen. She does. She sounds more Welsh than me. A daughter does as well. She was on a video the other day.
Yeah, I saw that. Actually. I'm going to try and get a flame retardant suit though for next week, just in case. With Karen.
Karen.
She will always be the fire starter to me now after that video. That's it. Karen is the fire starter, but we'll talk about that more next week. So what's your hope with YouTube? Where are you hoping to get to with it? What do you want to do with it?
I want free stuff, yeah. I want to be discovered.
Say it like it is.
I want a team so that they can do all the tedious jobs that I don't like doing. All the really rubbish, really boring
things.
Like,
the editing.
Yeah, that stuff. And also like packaging up orders and doing the really fiddly bits on the jewellery, like the clasps. I hate doing stuff like that. I'm so cabbie-handed. I know it doesn't appear so, but I have 2 left hands. I really do. And when it comes to like the tweaky little things, I'm ridiculous. And I hate it. I love making like the jewellery bits, but I don't like putting jewellery together. I do want to take over the world, Stimpy. Definitely. Lucy will take over with me because she's got an evil side. She definitely has an evil side, does Lucy. She's a witch, She definitely is because of how she can crochet. Anyone that can crochet are witches because I just can't. I've tried.
I've never tried it, to be honest. I've not been into the crochet yet.
I'm not a lefty, Susie. I'm not a lefty, but I'm a cabbie handy because I use the wrong hands for what I do a lot of things the wrong way round to what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm not ambidextrous, but my youngest is left-handed though, and she finds things quite difficult.
Oh, Jules is saying Loula La, the best place ever, apparently.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's great when I watch your videos, you can tell that you really enjoy what you're doing on the videos. And I think that makes it a big difference as well. And it's like all of your little caricatures and things like that. They're almost like part of your family, I think, when you're sort of playing with the character. There we go.
And he's even got a painting of himself now as well, who looks he does look like Alf. And to be honest with you, I said in the video when I was making it, I said, he looks like Alf. And then loads of comments, he looks like Alf.
Does a little bit. That old Alien TV program.
I said, I'll make sure to keep the kittens away from him. But I do love them. I mean, I've got this army. It's like these, all these alligators.
Yeah.
And they're all mine. They're not going in the shop. They're not going on. I put like 1 or 2 on the website, but I'm like, but they're mine.
Yeah.
I kind of I've loved character things since I was a kid. I was the sort of kid, the little chicks you'd get at Easter for putting on hats.
Yeah, I keep them in
matchboxes as pets.
Right.
I would.
See, I was the opposite. I actually, when I saw those little chicks, I actually bought the birds and actually started hatching them.
Yeah, so No. My mum and dad wouldn't let it. We had like cats and stuff, but they wouldn't let us have interest in pets. But I used to literally keep like the little chicks and the Easter chicks. I used to love all that stuff, and it's never left me. I still like all the little things, and being able to make them now.
Yeah,
that is really cool. I do. I want to expand. I do want to expand more on actual paintings, and I would like to. I want to be able to teach, and I know that I can. Martin constantly tells me that I can teach. Oh, hello! I've got a little kitten jumping in my lap. But I said it's a confidence thing. I definitely want to mix. I do love mixed media. It is my favorite.
Yeah.
I like mixing in the different mediums, like I've done Ludo, and
Okay.
I've mixed him in with doing um there's the video is on him. We 3D printed him and then I painted him. I made the doorway out of resin. I made the floor out of clay.
Okay.
And I love doing the mixed media stuff, and I do want to do more like that.
Yeah.
But it's having the time, because when you do it, when I'm keeping up the website, keeping up with the shop, um, and also trying to keep up with all the things that I want to try. Because
Yeah.
I've just got my first eco resin, so I
Okay.
want to play with that next. And
That's good
now,
fun.
go
I've done a
on.
few experiments with eco resin. I went with the eco pour, and I've done a few experiments with that. It's good fun.
Yeah, and it's doing all those things, and then I look at and I'm seeing these. I want to do big stuff as well.
Yeah.
um, I love Studson Studio, and North of the Border. And they've done, they are pretty. They're they're big YouTubers,
Yeah.
and some of the stuff. And like, you look at Jazza as well, if you've ever heard of Jazza.
No,
And
I've not seen that.
Jazza and Tabletop Time, they're Australians and all,
Okay.
and it all spans from Warhammer 40k stuff, and they've
Okay.
done lots of resin stuff mixed with other things, and they've done them in really big elaborate pours.
Okay.
So I think it'd be fun to do stuff like that, but you need you need to afford the resin.
Yeah, and the
You know,
tool and the tools and everything else that goes with it sometimes, because it's like
yeah,
those river tables. You can make one, don't get me wrong, but then you've got to, unless you've got a CNC machine to get them perfectly level and things like that, it's a lot of work to try and get the same effect. And I think that's the thing. Some of the videos I watch, they're amazing what they create, but some
yeah,
of them are using, like, I don't know, 40 kilos of resin in one project. And then most of it's being sanded away. And I'm like, what a waste of resin. But I suppose if you can afford it, why not? But
yeah, yeah. I
but
love
it's,
watching Ben's works.
yeah,
He's got his blog. I like watching that, but is the actual woodwork thing where he does do quite big projects, and then you watch him like saw away all that, and you're like, ah.
yeah.
Oh, my heart.
You see, I do quite a bit of woodworking as well and things like that. I've not thrown a piece of wood away yet.
No,
I've got two like metal bins in sort of this outbuilding, and even the tiniest little bit of wood I'll just throw in there, because at some point I think all of those bits collected together in resin would actually make a really cool piece.
yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a pyramid. Susie just saying she'd just done a snowy, and I
I've not done a
haven't.
pyramid either yet. Again,
No,
they're a lot of resin.
I haven't even got well, I've got my skull was huge. That took 64 fluid ounces,
Okay.
so that was big. And of course, I've got Julie's pouring your heart. I've got her dragon,
Yeah.
and that's quite like I'm pretty sure it's something like 28 to 30
Yeah.
fluid ounces, and I've just got the giant because I saw Tim with his on your when you spoke to Tim, and he showed.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, I gotta have that now. So that arrived last week, But I'm going. I've got like I got my scrappy box, things that haven't quite worked out. That's all gonna go in there.
Fill him in.
Mm.
That's
Fill
what's going
them
to
in.
happen to that bear. He's going. I'm in the. I'm almost there now. I'm almost ready to pour that first table that I mentioned the other week. So I've got my blooms, what I want in there, which I did 7 at the same time, and I was really happy with that. I've got my Petrie now. Whether I redo them, I don't know, because I've been thinking to myself that in between the blooms, rather than just standard Petrie, if I do it in green, it might look a bit like leaves in the top of the table. But that's going to be at least 2.5, 3 liters of resin, I think, and that's what puts me off. And it has to be perfect.
It'd make me cry. Why didn't you? When I was doing the skull, I contacted T Expert. I was chatting to you about this earlier, and I explained to them what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And if they'd, if I, sponsor a video with me, and they did.
Yeah.
So I think reaching out to some companies is a really good idea because I wanted to do the project. I knew how expensive silicone rubber was, and I
Yeah.
knew that I needed a lot. So I just emailed them, and I say it all the time. The worst they can say is no.
Yeah.
At
True.
the end of the
Or
day.
just not
So
respond.
yeah, yeah, they either just ignore you, which most of them do. But Tea Expert were brilliant, so
Yeah.
they sent me the resin. It was just a case of how much do you want?
Yeah.
So I would do that. Why don't you reach out and say I'm doing this? Doing this
Yeah, yeah,
project.
maybe, because then if it does go wrong, you don't feel as bad either. But Karen
Yeah.
was just saying she's got a load of pieces that she needs to break up with a hammer. An easier way to do that is put them in boiling water, then they go soft, and then you can just cut them with scissors.
I think crappy bits of resin.
Yeah, I think she means bits that haven't worked out. So what I do with those is I just soak them in boiling water straight out the kettle, and then you can cut them up into little pieces with a pair of scissors, and you can almost create mosaic effects in clear resin.
Yeah, yeah. I
Just
think
something different.
I like what Miss Sheila does on Reptiles and Resin. She's got
Okay.
like she's got like mosaic trays that she got from Temu.
Yeah.
And she like scrapes off. She'll scrape off, or if she's hasn't got quite enough, and she just does it on the tray while she's on the videos. Then they're cured. That she tips them all into a tub, and then she does scrappy makes, and
Yeah.
she calls them scrappy turtles and stuff. And that's something I want to have a go at because it just looks really fun and it looks good.
Well,
You
so
know,
some of my favourite pieces, are drip molds. I'll always have a drip mold by the side of me, 2 or 3 little molds, so the dragon or an egg or whatever it is. And any spare drops of resin at the end, I scrape as much as I can out the pots, put it in there. And when they fill up, some of those are my favourite pieces. And I haven't had to be creative, it's just the resin.
yeah. What's genius? What's genius, Lucy? What's genius?
I think she might have been on about reusing the resin.
Yeah. I was
Hey, Chippy
gonna
Doodle
try it.
Crafts. But no, we're up to 26, guys. We need another 24 in here if
Go
you're going to
find
get
your
your surprise.
friends. Share. No, I just like having the fun stuff. It's
Yeah,
I just find it mesmerizing what it can do, and it's almost like magic,
yeah.
because it's again, it's not left us since we were kids. Um, and I had a Paul Daniels magic set. Just saying, I was
Yeah, I think I
awesome.
did at one point.
Yes, I did. I did have one. And
What was his assistant called? Is it Debbie?
Debbie, yeah,
Yeah.
Debbie, yeah, yeah,
Debbie McGee, wasn't it?
yeah, McGee, Debbie McGee. He creeped me out, mind you.
Yeah.
I find him quite creepy. But I had the magic set. Um, and when you're doing, when you add some of the micas and some of these auras, you're like, wow,
Yeah.
how did that happen? Obviously it's science, but
That's my favorite bit is the next day when you demold. So whether it's
yeah,
a bloom or something like that, you never know what you're going to get. And it's always a surprise.
yeah, and there's so many things because I've put cereal in now. It's your
Yeah.
fault, either way. It's your fault.
Why is that my fault? I never said cereal. I put chocolate in.
Yeah, but it's not your fault. Simple.
Okay. Well, I may be doing super noodles soon. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
see, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Super noodles.
And then
I
I'll get abuse on that video saying don't put food in resin.
yeah,
Sorry. If I want to experiment with it and waste my resin, then that's my call, really.
yeah. It's the same thing because I've worked like before I was doing this, I worked with children for 20 years,
Yeah.
and the amount of people you shouldn't play with, children shouldn't be playing with food. I'm like, well, yes, they should. It's
Yeah.
how children learn is like food should be enjoyable and food should be fun, and using it like that. And food is enjoyable,
You know what?
especially in
I
weather.
think the younger generation, that's why they're such picky eaters. They never played with food as a kid.
I take that blame, Lisa. I take that blame. And I accept the blame from Karen for the alligator, but I blame Karen for the pandas.
The pandas, yeah, I saw that in the video.
Well, I've just done, I don't know if it'll pick up, the double, I don't know if it'll pick up on you, the gold and the
In the top
glow.
in the hat.
Can you see it? Can you pick? I've lifted it up slightly.
I think what is it? Iridescent.
I put in the Tiny Turner
Oh yeah.
dark matter into the actual resin, mixed it in, and then I painted the bottom with starlight. So it gives a yellow glow from different directions and then blue. And I just playing with that with the pandas. And it's just stuff like that because it reminds me of like ornaments you'd see. You don't see it so much anymore, but when I was growing up, like in the growing up in the 80s, 90s, there was a lot of ornaments you could get, and I always wondered how they were made. The frosty style with this glow in them. And it's and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how it works. That's how it works.
I think a lot of the older ones were sandblasted, I think, back in the day, from what I've seen. And then you get those ones that were made that are really valuable, that glow that green, where they're made with like radioactive material.
Oh,
Can't remember what you call them, but they're meant to be really valuable. But there we go.
Yeah, well, it's even like marbles as a kid. They mesmerise me. I'm like, how do they do that? How do they get those colours and those swirls and stuff inside them? And now it's like, I could make a marble.
Yeah.
I could make a marble if I wanted to.
Well, that's the thing. The great thing for me with resin or even wood, when I used to carve, well, I still carve it, but when it's nice weather, if you've got a picture in your head, you can make it in real life.
Yeah.
You probably make a few mistakes along the way, but eventually you'll get it.
Yeah. I want to try and implement the art part with the resin as well. Now, I know you can paint on resin.
Yeah.
With acrylics. And I know this because Jazza has done it, and he's got like the resources and the sponsors and stuff. So he's able to do these big elaborate things.
Yeah.
And I think Michelle on Easel Does It Studio, she's a painter as well. And she's done a few scenes using resin too, but there could be more.
Yeah.
There's the possibility of doing more with it, and I think that would be fun. And because, the name Nerd Goblin Arts, I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
I am. Hand on heart, I love the cutesy, nerdsy stuff. I love Star Trek, Star Wars, all that stuff. That's what I first started painting was the fan art.
Right.
It's amazing actually how many people, you have the amount of people that love TARDIS painted TARDISes and stuff like that. But I'm like, how can I implement that in a fun way, in a fan art way, without getting in trouble?
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with fan art, obviously, because some are better than others with you creating it. But if it's just to create, a Borg cube, exactly. I made a Borg head. That was my GCSE art.
So you were a bit of a Trekkie then, I'm guessing.
No, not well. Yes.
Yes.
It was my brother my older brother. I was forced to watch it. Because
my dad used to watch it. He used to watch. I think it was it Star Trek Generation?
Yeah, the Next Generation
with the Klingons and everything like that. And I remember parts of it. Don't get me wrong, but I've never been a massive Trekkie. I'm not massively in Star Wars, but I'll watch them because they're interesting.
I was force-fed it. I'm the youngest. So I was force-fed watching stuff as a kid because, the pecking order. And I'm sure the same for you. When I was growing up, we only had one TV in the house. I don't think we had two TVs until I
still remember black and white TVs when I was a kid,
Yeah. But my brother being older than me, we'd have to sit there, and watch Star Trek, and he was also into Babylon 5,
Right.
and although I do actually like them, but from a young age, you hide it as a kid. When you're a kid, you hide your nerdiness in school back then. Now it's like cool to be into all those sort of things.
Yeah.
But then you basically hid it and didn't talk about it. But for
Otherwise, you
my
were with the uncool kids.
well, yeah, well, I was uncool anyway. um, I was still weird then. Um, but for my GCSE, I decided I was going to build a Borg head out of
Right.
wires, and I grabbed some of my brother's like Meccano set, and he had one of those electronic kit things, and I made a turning satellite. I used a goggle for the eye, put a red light behind it,
Yeah.
um, and I framed the mesh around my brother's head as well. But that is the sort of thing I love doing, and I wish I knew then what I do now about all the things you could have gone into.
Yeah.
Because I stopped doing that. I had my art teacher said one day that my stuff wasn't good enough, and that's
Yeah.
when I stopped doing art until fast forward over 20 years,
And now you're back into it.
I'm back into it, and I'm now doing it as a full-time thing,
Just to
you
say,
know?
guys, we've got 31 in now, so we only need another 19 in here, and the surprise will happen. So get sharing. Don't forget as well, this is your space as well. If you've got any questions for me, for Loula, let us know in chat and we will answer them as well. Sorry, Loula.
That's fine. Yeah, Blake 7 was fun.
I don't remember that
No.
one.
I only remember I never watched it when it was out. I watched it later on,
Okay.
and stuff like that. I'm so nerdy. He has a hypervisor.
But
I
interestingly, do you know most of us creative types, I think we grew up with that sort of stuff. And do you know what? I think it helps our imagination. It's like Star Trek and other planets and things like that. I was never a Trekkie, but I didn't mind watching it because I just thought it was really interesting to watch. And again, I'm one of those weird people that believes we're probably not on our own in the universe, and there is probably life on other planets.
oh, it's not weird though, is it? Because it'd be really weird if we were the only ones. It'd be kind of
Yeah,
sad.
but I don't get me wrong. I don't think it's like Star Trek or anything like that. But it does open your mind up to those possibilities. I think from a young age, and then that goes into your creativity. I think in a later life.
Well, yeah. It was always watching all stuff like that growing up, and it is my brother's fault. I stand by that because I like watching MASH. That's what I got to watch. That was my choice.
Right.
Like after Zada, I loved watching MASH 4077 because I love the comedy, and I want to do more that I call myself the whimsical artist, and that's because I do like to be whimsical, and I bought trolls to put in resin because I'm like, trolls were a thing from my day. People are like
Yeah,
seeing that, and I've
I
got the
remember those. My
little
sister used to
worms.
have them.
Yeah, I used to cut their hair.
I think I
um,
used to throw them out the window or flush them down the toilet, but I was a little bit younger back then.
yeah, but I was just entertaining myself this morning with submerging trolls into resin. Um, and then straight away in my head, I was thinking of the Trolls movie because I obviously
Yeah,
watched it with my kids, and I was like, I'm basically the bad guys that were trying to eat them.
right.
So then I'm like, how can I make it so that a troll's walking across my desk and so I've done all that with my video, and I just wanted to make it fun, you know. So I did like the really bog standard animation type thing this morning, to put in my video for Monday, along with
Okay.
I'm changing a few things with the setup of my videos. It's going to start this Friday with Froggy Friday,
Oh,
and
exciting.
yeah, it's nothing. It's it's nothing like I'm just changing it up, with trying a few different things with the way I film and talk and present, the first part of the videos and stuff. Just for
Is this going to be you on camera like this and going, "This is what we're going to do," or
not yet, not yet.
okay?
I was hoping that this would give me confidence. You know what I mean?
Interestingly, do you know with my videos, some of them I start like that sort of thing, either sat on the settee with Reggie attacking me or something like that, and saying this is what we're going to do in the project, and they do seem to hold people's attention more. And I think it's because you're showing you rather than just two hands, and I think people want to see the real you.
Yeah, absolutely. I do
And
agree
thank
with
you,
that.
Chippy Doodle Crafts, as well, for thinking I've got amazing confidence. I don't know if I'd agree with that. It probably comes from working in a sales environment for 22 years, to be honest. That really helps build your confidence. Getting rejected all day long on the phone and things like that, then having to shrug it off your shoulder and just carry on. But that's where that comes from.
Yeah. Talking about the Doctor Who and all as well. Yeah. I want to do, you did your ball. Oh, I can't think of what it was called. You did like the space thing in that
The
ball.
Galaxy.
Yes, the galaxy where you were
The
fixing
Galaxy Bowl.
when they're gonna be doing that. Yeah.
Where I'm doing the spirals, yeah.
Yeah, we fixed it. It was a bowl you didn't quite like. So yeah, I was like, when you were doing it, I was like, you need a TARDIS.
That would be cool, actually, a TARDIS, yeah.
And I made some, I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was a while ago. And somebody said to me that it needs an Enterprise.
Right, yeah.
So I'm like, why not? Do so, do that, and I can paint on it. I can paint on it. I know you can get stickers.
Well, it's
I
like the
know.
Star Wars, the Death Star, if you've got a sphere mold
Well, yeah,
and
yeah,
you've got,
exactly.
you could quite easily turn that into a Death Star or something.
Yeah, well, I've painted. I've painted the Death Star and stuff like that because it's just fun. Um, and I know you can get the stickers, and I do use
Yeah,
stickers. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I think they're brilliant. They're a tool at the end of the
yeah.
day. Then I'm like, but I can paint and I can draw and I can put that into it just to show people that there's other ways as well. I do digital art as well.
Okay.
I've got Lucy will know about these, and I think Jules quite likes one or two of them as well.
Well,
I call
Tracy's
it
saying you can actually get a Death Star mold as well.
I've seen them as like ice cubes.
Right.
Yeah, they you can get ice cube molds. I actually got what's his name? Getting everything now because I'm on here. Han Solo. When he goes gets frozen in carbon. He's
Yeah.
like that. I bought the ice cube molds. And you know
Except,
what?
yeah.
People went crazy for them in the shop. I just used chameleon flakes and
Yeah.
black backing, and I turned them into magnets.
Yeah.
So they were fun.
For me, it's got to be a Chewbacca mold. That would be cool.
I've not seen.
Just because of the noise as well. You could have like the sound effects in the background of him going,
You had
something like that.
You said you don't watch Star Wars, and you're like,
I don't. I just remember that, and I used to like doing a Chewbacca impression. So there we
You're
go.
already trying to say I'm not a nerd. You're like, no, 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 I never watched it. It's just what I remember. No, 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 go away. But
Wait
yeah,
till I start doing Little Britain impressions. Now that's where it gets worse.
yeah. And the thing is, as well, it's like being inspired by others as well. Because obviously, I watched your video, and I'm like, I could do that, but I could do this with it.
Yeah.
So you watch other, I've just done because I saw Wendy on Toonfish. She was inspired by Daniel Cooper.
Yeah.
He done an effect in a coaster, the jewel. I always forget the actual names. Yeah, it was a good
It was the
impression.
jewel effect. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, but then Wendy was like, I can do that in these molds and just change it up slightly. So I'm like, right, okay, I gotta do that now. And then,
Yeah.
and and that's what it should be. It shouldn't be people going, oh, they're copying me. Oh, that's the.
No, and you know what? A lot of the bigger artists now, they don't mind that, which is great. And I think that's one of the best things for me. You'll get some where you'll watch the video and you'll clearly see that there's a step missing somewhere. So then if you try and recreate it, you're like, it doesn't work. But that's because sometimes they've had to go on like a specific course, which is paid for. And I saw in a video the other day that somebody had patented a course. Don't know how you get that patent through, but I can understand that if people are trying to make a living from doing one particular technique. But most of them are shared. It's like the latest Daniel Cooper video. I saw that and I thought, I'm going to be doing some of that, which is where the alcohol ink sort of lifted and made that design.
Oh, with the white, using the white. Yes, I'm doing that.
Yeah, definitely going to have to give that a go.
He replied to my comment as well, and I was like, oh, stop.
Celebrity.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, check me out. Touch me, I'm real. Yeah, I'm definitely doing that one. And, you know, because he likes to do, he doesn't like doing the bigger things, does he? But then I look at his little things in the thing, and I'm
how
like,
you can do it in bigger things.
And I could put that in a frog.
Yeah.
You know, and
Interesting. If I get round to it tomorrow, I want to do another Froggy Friday, and I've got two different ideas, and I'm going to try and do them both because I have got two frog molds. One of them I've already slipped out what it's going to be earlier, super noodles. But the other one, I've seen a load of these dragon flowers or fairy flowers, and I thought it'd be interesting to see what that technique would do in a frog mold.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so if I get round to it tomorrow, that is the plan, to get those two frogs done. And then if I can edit it on Thursday, it'll be ready for Friday. So it'll be interesting, hopefully.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. I had inspiration.
Oh. Well, I've heard a rumor Lisa's going to have her first video coming out soon on YouTube as well. So that'll be interesting.
Got inspired by Froggy Friday, Annie A. Yeah. I love Froggy Friday.
Yeah.
It is no lie. And I'm not saying it just because
it's one of my favorites from the last one.
I love frogs. I love frogs. It started with my love of Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
You know, and not Tracy's Kermit, but he's wonderful. But the actual, you know, Kermit.
And Miss Piggy off the Muppets.
And Miss Piggy. You know, I've still got my original, you know, Muppet cuddlies and stuff. And I just love frogs. You know, my cousin used to collect them, and she had a fish tank with no water, no fish,
just
frogs. All these froggy, not even real frogs, not even live frogs, just all these different froggy ornaments from everywhere she'd find. Even the, you know, Kinder Egg brought them out one year. They're all the little frogs.
Right.
Back in the day, she even bought those all out as an adult just so she could have the little froggies to go in her fish tank.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is fun, and you know, Karen started it off, and now we're all like frog fanatics. But it gives us some kind of a drive as well. You know, that collaboration being a weekly thing, it does give us
tries to push us into it almost, doesn't it? When you're feeling like, oh, I really can't be bothered now, like full day at work, that sort of thing, or you've just edited 2 videos and you're like, no, I really can't do it. And then you think, well, it is Froggy Friday coming up. I want to do it, to be part of that. And you know what? They get some good views as well as part of the collaboration.
Yeah, they do. I've had quite a few, you know, I'll have a comment and say, I've just found you, you know, and I'm binging on your stuff now, you know. Karen, it was Kirsten that mentioned Turtle Tuesday.
Right.
But
somebody mentioned doing a Skull Saturday at one point as well, so that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I do want to do a Cat-a-day, but I don't want it a weekly thing. I want to do a monthly Cat-a-day on a Saturday, the Saturday Cat-a-day. I do want to do that on a monthly basis, because I have 4 cats. I love cats.
Okay.
And there's lots of really cool cat stuff out there. And you don't even need to have molds. I think I proved that with Froggy Friday when I made frogs with cabochons. You know, you don't need, you know, we don't idiots.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a frog mold to take part. You don't even have to be doing resin.
You could draw one.
You can draw a frog. You can colour a frog. You know, Gertie has just she done a material, the fibre. I can't remember what you call it, Gertie. Because I think she's in chat, still in there. Tell them what it's called because I can't remember. But that was awesome. And Smarty Hearty Sally, she's just done one with clay. You know, and it's and we've got Suda. It was like I haven't got a frog anymore. And I said, colour one, draw one, just do it. It's fun. You know, you can invent. You could even get a sheet from a colouring in book.
Yeah.
You know, if you got or even print a picture from the internet and just colour it in. It's just taking part, and it's just a little bit of fun.
Needle felt.
That's it, and it was awesome. She only stabbed herself a million times, but needle felt.
Right, well, we've not hit the 50, but do you think we should still do a surprise or not, Loula?
Yeah, we've like tested out today.
Do me a favour before I announce how we're going to do it. Have you got a pen and paper in front of you?
Me? No.
Ah.
Have I got paper? You're asking. I've got canvases.
Just a pen and paper to write one thing down.
We've rearranged my desk and I can't remember where anything is. Where did I move things to?
Now, this is just so that it's impartial, you see.
Evil plans.
Okay, so we have 25 people, I think, in at the minute, which is great. So I want you to pick a number between 1 and 30 and write it down.
Hang on a sec. 1 and 30, between 1 and 30.
Any number between 1 and 30.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you may have seen my 9-colour bloom coaster video that I did earlier this week, which came out really well. So I'm going to give that away to somebody in the chat, just as a thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the journey and the community. So if you want it, guys, in the chat, I want you to type a number between 1 and 30. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do it. If we get a repeat, so 2 people putting the same number in, it'll be the first one that put it in. And whatever number Loula has written down, so we're going to give you guys a couple of minutes to put the numbers in. Whatever number between 1 and 30 Loula's written down, we're going to look through the chat and see who's won it.
I know who's won it.
Already? Oh, we've had it.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting. Okay, we've got a winner already, guys. What was that? 21. Who picked 21? The first one was it Gert?
Gertie was the first.
Gertie was the first. So Gert.
Gertie,
well, it's not far to post for you, actually. You're not far from me. So drop me an email, drop me a message with your address, and you have won this 9-ink poster. So congratulations.
Woo! Woo!
I just thought it was something different that we can start doing on the lives as well. Do a giveaway.
No, that's awesome. That's really cool. I should do a giveaway, shouldn't I? And use your channel to do it.
Should we do a double giveaway? So you could do one now.
I can do one. Can you see him?
Oh, is that the Snoopy?
This is Galaxy Snoopy. Now, my members are each getting one of these. I'm going to be posting them by the end of the week. But so cool. And it's got a galaxy inside it. This video comes out on Wednesday.
Okay.
The making of them. And the Snoopies are awesome. Again, ice cube trays.
Yeah.
Don't we love them?
Some of the ice cube tray skulls are really good as well.
Yeah, these were on Temu. They're not listed as Snoopy, obviously.
No.
But there's like boy Snoopies and girl Snoopies with little bows, and they're really sweet. They will be linked on the video on Wednesday, so if anybody wants to get them. So Andy, have you got a pen and paper?
I have.
Well then,
there you go. This wasn't even pre-planned, this, so it's great.
Okay. I'm in my jammies as well. I'm so comfortable.
Oh, we're up to 26 now. You see, we did a giveaway and one more person's come in.
I want one. So we're going to do the same thing again.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to do the same as what Andy's going to do this time. Andy's going to pick a number.
Okay, what do I go with? Okay, I think I've got one. Are you guys in the chat? Get your numbers in now. Between 1 and 30 numbers.
And you will get a Snoopy.
Oh, we're going. The numbers are there. It's not there yet.
You can do it more than once.
Yeah, still not there. Oh, we have a winner. Smarty's Enchanted Crafts.
Number 14, Smarty.
I did my oldest daughter's age, 14.
Lovely.
So there we go.
I did my oldest age as well. I did 21.
Oh, there we go. We both put the same way. But no, I think that was really fun. Obviously, guys, if you're watching this after the event as well, I'm going to try and incorporate a giveaway every week. It's going to cost me a fortune in postage, but I'm happy to ship it wherever you are in the world.
Yeah,
and this is where I pray it's UK winners rather than the States.
Sally, if you can either email me or you can message me on Discord with your address, so I'll send that off when I send the others on Friday.
Yep.
I try to do Friday as my days for postage.
And also, I've got a confession to make as well. Do you know how I did a prize draw for my channel members? There's a lady called Dee that won it, and I left it for over a week. I didn't post it, so I felt that bad. I upgraded it, so I upgraded it to one of my opal effect pendants, which I've only ever been able to make 6 of. I haven't been able to recreate it since. So to me, they were really special. But it's just getting round to doing everything, isn't it, all at once? But that's gone out now as well. And again, I'm going to do one of these giveaways, I think, every week. So make sure, guys, if you haven't, you subscribe to Nerd Goblin Arts, as well as me, hopefully, if you're liking the content. And let's all keep growing together, you know. That's the exciting thing. I think when Tim came on, I think he got quite a few new subscribers straight after, which was brilliant. I think Kernix Creations as well, when they came on, they've had a bit of a jump. So let's hope Loula's channel gets a bit of a jump as well now. And we all just keep growing together. I think that's the exciting thing. If we can all keep growing, I think this year Resin is going to get more eyes on it than it's ever had on it before.
You'll stand together. Boom, boom. A froggy thing, isn't it?
There we go. We got you singing as well. We should do a duet, you and Tim.
Do you guys want a sneak peek just before we go? Do you want a sneak peek of my Froggy Friday this week? Do you want to see my Froggy Friday? Would you like to see my Froggy Friday?
Nice to meet you as well, Ruru.
That's Lucy.
Lucy, that's easier.
That's Lucy. Right. Do some of you recall that Ben's Works created the Fraggans? Yes?
Oh.
Well, I give you the Frogafly.
Wow. It's kind of a cross between a butterfly and a frog.
That's why it's called a Frogafly.
There we go.
I did think of Butterfrog. Frogafly. So this is going to be my giveaway on my channel, but I'm only doing monthly ones. I'm only going to be doing monthly giveaways. But this is going to be my first monthly giveaway.
My youngest always calls butterflies flutterbys. She gets the two mixed up. So
yeah, my daughter used to. Huh?
Call it a flutter frog.
Flutter frog. Flutter frog.
Yeah.
Like I say it wrong.
And say it when you've had a drink, then it'll be really funny.
I did a flutter frog. That's Karen. Flutter frog.
And also the pom-pom puss turned out really well as well.
Yeah, he was fun. I
He was
wasn't
cool.
sure. I don't know where I've put him. I think he's over there. Unless one of the kids has swiped him.
Could
Usually,
be.
if I miss it, they
That's the thing, I have to
usually.
keep the resin away from my 6-year-old because she wants them all as toys.
Yeah, they do. They do. But he was fun. I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure, but I think I saw somebody do it and fail.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. So I just thought I'd try it the way that she didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who it was because it was such a long time ago. So I just decided to do it differently to the way she done it. Because I don't have a pot, like I always call them a chamber pot. But I want one, but not a
Yeah.
chamber pot. That is you know.
A pressure
What are
pot,
they
you
called?
mean, I presume.
Yeah, pressure.
Yeah.
I would love one. I would love one to be able to do
For
stuff
me,
like
it's not just that though, is it? Because you need to get like the air connection and things as well as the pot, don't you?
Yeah. There was a really good video. I've mentioned twice now, haven't I? On Ben's
Work,
work. So there's just the other day they did a really good video on the differences between them all.
the
And
two.
I'm glad that they did because I was a little bit confused between, a few of those. But yeah, Pilly Palla. Pilly Palla is that's Lucy saying Pilly Palla. That's Welsh for butterfly, is a Pilly Palla.
Ah, okay. I like that, Pilly Palla.
It's quite purple, so Porfor is purple, so Pilly Palla Porfor. There we
Wow.
go.
I think the only
Yeah.
Welsh I can remember is is it Body Da?
Bore da. Yes,
Yeah.
but that's good morning, so this is Prynhaen da.
Yeah. But that's the first time I went to Wales, and this is me not even realizing there was another language back then when I was a lot younger. I was like, I didn't know the whole RAF were based in Wales because everywhere it says ARAF on all the roads, doesn't it?
My God.
And I was like, is this where all the RAF are?
Oh my goodness, that's terrible. We do have St. Athens, to be fair. There is St. Athens, so you could
Yeah, I
get away
learned when
with
I
it.
actually went in the RAF when I was younger that wasn't the case. So yeah.
No, it's there are some good ones. It's like because my kids went before they've been in home educated now for over 5 years, and they were in Welsh schools,
Yeah.
so they speak Welsh, they speak Welsh really fluently, and he's 14 now. He'd come up to my parents and he'd go, "I know the word for dinosaur in Welsh," and they go, "What is it? What is it?" And he's like, "Come closer." He's like, "Dinosaur." It's just dinosaur. And that is what it is,
What it
There's
is.
some words, it's like ambulance is ambulance.
Well, I think we were joking about this in Discord the other day because my ex was Welsh. So and she used to come out with all these Welsh words, and I didn't know what they were half the time. And she it's like curry tea, I think, is one of them, which actually you said means that they love you or something like that. I always thought she meant you want an Indian for dinner, it's one of those things. It sounds the same.
Oh, I demolish an Indian dinner right now.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. Tracy's saying to me to slow down, Andy.
Yes, I did realise that afterwards, but no, I love Wales. To be honest, it's just a bit of a commute for me. It's like I did Snowdon up and down one year in like 3.5 hours in training for like the Three Peaks Challenge, and we got a really clear day. And at the top of Snowdon, when it's clear, it is absolutely beautiful. I've never seen anywhere quite like it, and that's quite mystical, I suppose, when you're up there. When the clouds come in, it's like you're literally above it all and you're just in the sky.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I need to go back to Wales one day.
Yeah, it's a good climb, but in around because Snowdon obviously that's north for us.
Yeah.
But it's Pen y Fan.
Okay.
Not Pen y Fan. What am I thinking? Karen, what am I thinking? Oh, sorry. That's home in the evening.
Yeah.
My brain, my brain. And that's another thing as well. That's something I know we're trying to leave, aren't we? But I have noticed a lot of us are chronic pain sufferers.
Right.
Within the community, there's so many of us with fibro. I've got spinal conditions. I know a few do, and stuff like that. And we can't do things like running up mountains.
Yeah. They have got a train though at Snowdon, haven't they, that goes up to the top?
Yeah, yeah. It's just not the same though. When
No.
I'm a wheelchair user,
Right.
so being able to access places, but this being able to do all this stuff gives you a new reach, and it's lonely. Is
Yeah.
lonely with disabilities because you have friends, but then when things get hard, you find out who your true friends are.
Yeah.
And you find your outlet, and this is my freedom,
Yeah.
creating art. It's my, painting saved my mind,
Yeah.
through the anxiety that I was suffering. And being able to have this outlet and finding this community, in particular the resin community. I'm not going to lie, I've got an amazing art family,
Yeah.
through the art Sherpa, and because I was a moderator, I've got my moderator family, and we're still in close contact now, even though we've lost her. We're going to keep it going, but we still in close quarters with each other.
Yeah.
You meet your people, you find your people, and they could be from Texas, they could be from California, they could be from Germany, and you all really do connect
Yeah.
over, because you're doing a bit of resin in a cup,
Yeah.
and it's awesome. And I've only been with Discord, I think I joined probably in November, and I feel like I found some really close friends,
Yeah.
so and that's what else it gives you, and that's why being part of the community is awesome. And other than, Art Sherpa, art community, that family aside, this one is fantastic. Um, and the amount of people that want to help, and I think everybody's brought this up, is that there's no there's no nastiness or unhandedness.
No.
Everybody wants to help everyone else. From somebody in chat messaging yesterday, can you send me a link for that? Because I don't list everything in my description boxes. Sometimes I just forget because that's the way I'm inclined.
Yeah.
Shiny thing. Oh, what's that over there? Um, and it just sharing. There's no need to be secretive, and I'm not sharing that mold. That means they'll make it. It's like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, I'm going to make it, and I'm going to make it a different way, because resin's always going to be different. You can never make something that looks the same.
That's identical. No, and that's one of the things I love. Every piece is unique. Doesn't matter what technique you do, and sometimes you'll try one technique and get a completely different technique when you demold, which is, again, it's quite fun to do that. But Paula, just to answer your question, the guest next week will be Karen from Dragon's Cave.
Dragon's Cave, Karen, and she
Another
breathes
Welsh
fire.
guest.
She
And the
breathes
week after, we've got
fire.
Erica as well coming on. So I believe Erica's from the States, from Kitchen Studio.
Yeah.
And she's going to be in her dance wear, apparently, she said on Discord the other day, because she used to be a dancer.
Yeah, I'm just reading all those comments there. Yeah. Is it Rin?
Yeah.
Started resin. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, since we lost, her name's Cinnamon, since we lost her in December, I found it hard to pick up a paintbrush. I can't watch any paint tutorials at the moment. I just can't at the
Right.
moment. A video just suddenly pop up in my feed, and I like flick straight away from like, no, 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 I can't do it right now. So the resin is filling that void at the
Yeah.
moment. And with my spinal issues, painting was hard. had been becoming harder because I've got prolapses in my neck, which affect
Right.
my shoulders. I'm very actionable with with my right hand, but my left is not too good at the moment, and I've got them in the bottom of my back as well. People don't realise how physical painting is.
Hmm.
You know, you use so much of your body when you're painting, you don't even realize. And, you know, not only slowing down because I used to paint for 8 hours a day, you
Yeah.
know, 3 times a week, probably, you know, 3 days of the week, I would paint for about 8 hours a day. I'm one of those that don't stop. I can't just leave a piece.
Until it's finished. Yeah.
I gotta keep going till it's done. I don't like leaving the only time I've ever done it was when I did my huge painting that took me 3 days. Because but that was huge. Um, but being able to do this is a fantastic outlet. You
Yeah.
know, it really is. And while I'm grieving, while my weird heart is mending, it's going to take a long time. I know I've got the resin community and I've got the resin art that I can do. I find the resin easier to handle, you
Yeah.
know, creatively because Martin can lift up the bottles for me and stuff, and I've got the handheld mixers and such as that. So, you know, it makes a lot of things more. You know, you're able to do more things.
Yeah.
You know, when you can't do other things, like Rin has said, he had writer's block, but then you find your other creative outlet. And I'm so glad that I was like, I'm going to do more with this.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really glad that I was like, "Do you know what? I might not be able to paint as much, but I can still do my YouTube channel." You know,
Yeah.
so
And you know what?
yeah.
I think it's great for the mind as well, because as I say, you could one of the things I love is if I do a piece of resin work at night, we all know it, you've got to wait 16 to 20 hours, not quite 24 usually, before you can actually demold it. I know it should be 24 with most resins, but most of us know 16 to 20 hours you can usually demold. But the great thing about that for me is I work full time. If I've had a really stressful day at work, I know I've got that to look forward to when I get home.
Yeah, yeah, there
And
is
it's just
that.
little things like that, which is just, and it could be something as tiny as I don't know, a Petri key ring or something like that. But I don't know what effect that's going to be, and that gives me something to look forward to. And it's just thinking, what's it going to turn out like? And you start thinking about it throughout the day sometimes.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I've had times where I've not been able to go to bed. I'm
yeah,
like, "It's gonna be ready and I need to see it." You know, so I put off going to bed so I can see. But
yeah,
I am far too impatient. Everything goes on the heat mat.
yeah.
And I know some people like, "Ooh," at that, but some
I've never
do.
used a heat mat yet, so
I did have one of those, Resiner, like, machines,
yeah, the
the
curing
curing
machines.
machine, but the thing bent in the middle, and they wouldn't do anything about it, unfortunately, so I got the, Estoyo
Yeah,
mat. It's not that expensive either, and it's huge. It's basically the size it's about A3 size paper, you know, in paper sizes, A3.
yeah,
And it's almost like a leathery material type thing. And it just sits underneath, it sits on my desk. My desk is all balanced. It's one of those electric desks. I
yeah,
need it to be able to sit or stand when my spine and neck are playing me up. Um, and I can just grab the tent it came with and just plonk it on, and 2 hours later, you know, done. And I can
yeah,
just, you know, and I've got one behind me as well. I'm that impatient. I've got another one set up behind me. So if I do something there, I can put it by there as well.
oh dear, looks
Like
like Erica
Jenny
made a
said
mess
with
because her
the
tray was bent in the
and
middle.
yeah, yeah, it happened to me. It wasn't a gradual thing either. It was just a case of it was working fine, and then suddenly it wasn't, and it was all over the place.
Oh
It
wow.
was
And Paula, just to respond to the heat mat, I actually enjoy the fact that I have to wait sometimes. You know,
yeah,
I think
if you've
it
got to
gives me
wait,
something to look
yeah.
forward to, and it means that I don't rush things all the time.
The lovely queue, yeah. The queuing, they're so useful.
Yeah.
I'm too impatient because this is, you know, I don't have a job to go to.
Yeah.
This is my thing.
I
You know,
don't get me
other
wrong,
than
I
when
love like just for you online, they do the fast cure resin, which cures within 2.5 hours. But the reason I love that is not because it cures so fast. It's because if I'm doing layers or something like that, it's so that I can get 4 or 5 layers in one day, rather than it taking a whole week to do a piece, because that's when it gets a bit excessive. It's like that ostrich egg. I'm still not done with it. I've still got about another 2 days of carving.
you need warmer weather.
Yeah, it's too cold. Because again, I've got to do it outside, and for me, at the minute, it's too cold. I know it's going to be really wet as well, and I think we've got a storm coming this weekend, so
Yeah, there's going to be high winds and stuff.
it'll be done when it's done.
Yeah, yeah, I do like the Apex 2-hour cure, but they've only just got stock back.
Oh, have they got it back
So
in now? Oh, that's
it's
good.
back in stock. There was an email this morning to say it's all back in stock.
Oh, good.
And I've been out since just before Christmas. So I'll be ordering that
Yeah,
as soon as I get paid, I will be ordering because it is good.
yeah.
Obviously there's a lot of things you can't use it for, but you know, I'm hoping because Tracy has been trying out their new the one for cups. I can't think of what it's
On the
called.
tumblers, yeah. Is it the
Yeah, the
quantum one or
tumblers.
something?
Yeah, Tracy will hopefully put the name of it in chat. And I had no interest.
Yeah.
Guess what I want to do now?
Cups.
I'm straight on Amazon. I'm like tumble turners.
Yeah.
As if I've got the space, the time, and the energy for this kind of thing. But now I'm like,
Tracy's
ooh,
done the course apparently today, so
yeah, yeah. She done the course. She shared a picture, and they look fun. Yeah, great for geode. I still haven't done a geode, and I want to try them. But I've been watching Tracy. Um, I've seen Tracy's ones, and of course,
I'll
Sally
tell you what,
on
you'd have
All
to
the
be
Bullets.
really quick to do a 3D bloom in a 1-hour cure.
Yeah, I think has Tim managed it? I can't remember. I'm not sure. I know Tim did a few experiments a while back, and I know that I think Donna did from DNA as well. But
Right.
Sally has been doing some great ones, all aboard resin. She's been doing with the like the eco and
Yeah.
using pigment powders to create the thing, and I'm just like blown away by it. I'm like, where did you get? Why? You know, I'm always blown away by the people that really do give us the ideas. You
Yeah.
know, those idea creative and getting us to all
Well,
do it
again,
as
with
well.
the eco pour, you can mix it with your resin. I don't know if you saw the seal that I did and stuff like that, but
Yeah, you did
that
your
went really
seal.
well. So you can mix it up, and that's part of the fun, I think, when you get a new material, is let's have a play with it and see what we can do. And it won't always work out, but when it does, it could be something new as well, what nobody's done before.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with Sally, she's used the crystal glass,
Yeah,
and she's not mixed in the mica powder. She's just like spooned it across, and it creates the crater. She did a
yeah.
clock yesterday. If anybody hasn't seen it yet, check it out. She made a clock yesterday with a geo type style with it, and it looks gorgeous. It really
Wow.
does. And I'm like, right, okay, that's another thing. So you know, you go around watching everyone. You're like, got a list now, and you're like, right, that's next, that's
Yeah.
next. You know, and then Daniel Cooper throws out that other technique that he's just done on the weekend with the, like you mentioned, the using the white mica and the it's basically like a Petri but without the sinker.
Well, it's kind of a
And
mix between Petrie and Bloom, I think, the way that
yeah,
he's done it.
I thought so as well. And I'm like,
Yeah.
when do you ever get time to do other things? But it's
But that's the
great,
thing.
isn't
I've
it?
always got so many ideas. I've got a book, and I'm not kidding you. I've got 60 different ideas in there at the minute. And
Yeah.
I try and do 2 or 3 a week if I can get them all out. But again, when you work full time as well, and I've got my girls most weekends, it leaves I get maybe 2 or 3 hours tops a day that I can spend on the resin, probably usually 2 by the time I've got back and sorted things out. So that's a lot to try and get out the 2 videos, do the live and stuff like that. So hopefully one day it will get to the point, like I'm sure some of these big channels that do it full time, where I can do it full time, and then I can go 100 ideas a month or something crazy like that. But
that's the dream, isn't it?
there's so much that hasn't been done yet with resin. I think that's part of the exciting thing, is what's next. You know, it's who's going to come up with the next idea that might go viral, but not just that looks cool and creates a good effect.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I got no problem with trying new things. I can't believe that I was so afraid of resin.
Yeah.
You know, that's what put me off for the longest time, because I've been watching creators for years, you know, and I was just, oh, I can't do that, you know. But the anxiety, once I worked on the anxiety of it and really started looking into it and reading on it, I said to you earlier that that's why I do my voiceovers afterwards. I've got to wear a mask. Yep. Otherwise my anxiety levels, even if I'm in a huge, my room is a big room, is well ventilated, I've still got to wear one.
Well, I think you should anyway, because depending on your resin, you don't know what you're inhaling otherwise, and that's the risk.
Exactly. So I wear, I've got my, I wear an apron as well, and that's mainly because I've wrecked most of my clothes painting.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got my scrufties that I like to wear when I'm creating. Specific clothes I wear in here. Yeah. But with the resin, your clothes are wrecked. You know, you can get away with going out with a little bit of like a splatter of paint.
I've got most of my jeans have got a spot of resin on them somewhere.
Yeah.
But then it's great, you know, if somebody asks you what that is, you can go, oh, actually, I do resin. And then it starts that whole conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be a new trend, resin jeans.
Resin jeans.
What do you think? Just UV resin drip down the legs or something like that. It could be a new thing.
There's a way to go because of like creating resin paper.
Yeah.
The next thing is resin clothes.
Well, I've seen people put jeans into resin, so I suppose it's just putting that the other way around.
This is true.
Yeah, it's just resin on jeans. So, but there we go. But no, we've been on for an hour and a half now, so you've kept me chatting, which is great. Any last questions from the audience? Now's your chance, because I'm going to wrap it up in about 2 minutes.
To clean my mica brush on my leggings. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't have any leggings, because that would be an interesting video in itself. But there we go.
Proper sexy stuff. Woo woo. They're only like winning skinny jeans, really, isn't they?
Well, I'll tell you what. If we get to 10K by the end of February on my channel, I'll get some leggings. There you go. There's an incentive to get people to subscribe. But yeah, make sure you thumbs up. Make sure you put something in comments as well, guys, and subscribe to both channels. And remember, if anybody wants to come on the channel at any point as a guest, anything resin related, anything creative, or if you've got a YouTube channel, let me know and we'll get you on as well.
Yes. He's not scary. He only bites a little bit. Just
instead
like
of jeggings, if we mix them with resin, it could be reggings. But yeah, we'll see. Andy After Dark will not happen on a live. Sorry to disappoint. I don't get paid enough to do these lives to do that kind of stuff.
No, that's for your OnlyFans account.
I don't have one of those, I'm afraid. So
everybody on YouTube, he lies.
Some things are best kept secret. That's all I'll say. But no, it's been lovely having you, Loula, and lovely meeting you, obviously, as well. We've chatted a lot on Discord. It's the first time we've actually spoke face to face. So it's nice to see you and nice to see everybody in the audience as well. So enjoy the rest of your evenings. And we will see you next week with Karen. So another Welsh guest. So that'll be exciting. And then the week after, we've got Erica as well. So We've got some really good guests lined up. And Tracy, we still need to hook up a date for you to come back on as well. I think late February or something like that. So see you all soon. Make sure you subscribe to both channels, give it a thumbs up, and see you on the next one.
Bye.